Pound for Pound Sports Entertainment. Hit that like button, comment below, share, do all of that. Hit the subscribe button for all sports entertainment related. You know what I'm saying? We got the champ, Mykal Fox, in the building. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Got a fight coming up October 8th. Cal Velasquez, aka Mean Machine. I know you're going through camp. How's the camp going right now?
Camp's going really good, man. This week we got some good rounds and did about 20 rounds this week. I sparred undefeated Jalil Hackett, signed a TMT. Shout out to Jalil and his father, Bernard Hackett. They always come through when we need them. It's always good work just because, Coach Bernard always comes with a plan, and no two sessions are really the same because he's they're trying different stuff, but it trains your mind as well as getting in shape and getting your instincts in order. So shout out to Bernard and Jalil Hackett, man. They always show love.
Yeah, salute to them, man, for real. How that fight with Mean Machine come about?
Originally I was supposed to fight. They originally had talked about October 15th on the Wilder return. I had kind of known about it since August. My team just was waiting to see. I basically just was waiting on the contract. Really, I had known since August. A name came about. We've both been away from the ring for about a year. I think he fought a week after me last year, so we had about the same amount of time off, and now we'll be on the YouTube prelims on the Fundora Ocampo card.
Okay. I was just about to say, that time both you guys had about the same layoff. Do you think the time out of the ring helped or hurt you?
Well, it probably. I mean, I know me personally, the sharpest I've ever been in the ring is when I was consistently fighting and whatnot. However, despite being out a year, we had a couple times where we thought we were going to have a day we were going to kick training up a notch or whatever, but those fell through. We had one opportunity in October, fell through. I had another opportunity in April, that fell through. But I stayed in the gym. After my last fight, I took a week off. And then I was back in the gym. I was helping my teammate Greg Outlaw. Shout out to him. He's up October 1st in DC. So I helped him. I helped him get ready for a couple of his fights. I helped Trayvon Marshall, another guy from the area, helped him get ready for a couple of his fights. So I did a lot of sparring this year. Not to the amount I'm about to be doing for these next few weeks, but it helped me stay sharp. These guys are getting ready for fights, so they're bringing their best, and it forced me to everything. It kind of had me clicking on all cylinders. As far as just sparring those guys, also my other man Maximus Garland. Shout out to him. Like I said, it was a lot of spawn. It's been a lot of spawn throughout the year. Throughout this year, I've been out the ring, so I was never really out the gym. People call me for sparring all the time. Anytime they need a southpaw, anytime they need they know they need some good work or they fight need some good work, they call me. So I had the luxury of taking advantage of that too.
Okay. What is a win over Mean Machine? Well, I mean, does a win over Mean Machine put you right back in the welterweight division as far as a major player?
It's a step in the right direction. I mean, let's be honest. Right now, the only thing people care about is Spence getting in the ring with Crawford. But it puts me back. It definitely puts me. I think it should boost my rankings up a little bit. I'm number 11 in the WBA. Hopefully, I can get ranked by one of the other sanctioning bodies, something like that. So, he's still a legit dub.
He's fought against Virgil Ortiz, took a loss there. Terence Crawford, so he's been in there with some notable names. Now, you're 6'3", if I'm not mistaken, correct?
6'4", 6'3", 6'4".
6'4" welterweight. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So you're the bigger man with the longer reach against him. I think you have a 10-inch reach advantage.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was that. Yeah, I didn't even know it was that significant. But but it's no secret what I'm coming to do in the ring on the 8th, October 8th. We're gonna box. We're gonna keep him at range. We're gonna land long, hard shots. And try to just make sure we get our W.
Mm-hmm. Now, you just mentioned about Spence and Bud in your mind as a welterweight in that division, how does that fight go? Who do you want to win?
I mean, I don't really have like necessarily what's going on. I don't really have nobody that I necessarily want to win. I like both of them. I like both of them for different reasons. But how's the fight go? I'm still up in the air about it. You know, I think Cobb's a good counter puncher. Earl is a good power puncher on his own. And both of the guys don't mind taking a punch to give a harder one. So I think if it goes through, we in for a great night, however it goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's really, truly a 50-50 fight. I'm looking forward to it. I'm waiting for the actual official announcement, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I was about to say, so as a welterweight in that division, is everybody kind of waiting around for that before they start making some moves, in your opinion?
I wouldn't say. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say waiting around. I mean, there's a few people that are like high ranked, like, you know, Jaron Ennis. He's mandatory challenger for the IBF. You got Ennis, who is a mandatory for the WBA. The WBO is kind of up and clear. WBC, Thurman's a mandatory. So those guys at the highest level, are just under world champions. Those are the guys that's waiting. You know, the top 5 guys are waiting. You know, and then everybody else. I mean, you still got it. I mean, there's still plenty fighting to be done. Like, you know, especially for me. I mean, I was campaigning. Like, I was campaigning to get back in the ring. I was campaigning to fight anybody like Jamal James, Abel Ramos, anybody like that. You know what I mean? But then we ended up finally getting Mean Machine, so which is just as good of a name to go up against. And you know, my job is to show that August 7th, 2021 wasn't a one night only thing.
And that was my next question. I wanted to know, because I just got through watching the fight again. I seen it live. I watched it. It got me pissed off all over again. You did everything right. You working the jab. You outlanded them. You were slick in there. Got a early knockdown in the second round, and they still took it from you. Explain to the fans exactly what happened that night against what was his name? Maestre. Yeah. Please explain to the fans what happened.
So I mean, for starters, I was on that card as a backup. You know, to anybody I basically told them anybody that tests positive for COVID, whatever, I will step in to fight anybody on that card. So I basically had to get ready for 6 different people. You know, 11 days out, I get a call that Cody Crowley, he had tested positive for COVID. They're gonna let me take his spot. Then we had Maestre. Then we had a name. You know, we fly out to Minnesota. We working. So now, you know, we make weight. Blah blah blah. Everything went smooth. Then we get to fight night. The night of the fight, you know, I sent my cut man in there. Some people know or don't know, but when they were he was watching them wrap their hands. They were trying to stack. They were like kind of stacking. They were like tape gauze and then like more tape and everything. So when my cut man had to call. My cut man had to catch them doing that. I don't know if they get to do that over in Colombia or whatever, but they can't do that here. Then we get to the ring. Everybody saw that on TV with the skinning. You know, we had to get that fixed. And then, but I mean, that whole time waiting, I mean, I wasn't nervous or anything, man. Like this, I walked to the ring. I was free as a bird, man. I didn't feel like I had much of anything to prove. I said, man, I'm just going to fight. I'm going to win, collect this belt before it goes extinct, and then put myself in a good position. And then I can say, as I heard the scores, like if you hear the first score, you saw I made a little face like, nah, that don't sound like the fight I fought. And then each score after that, the score got wider, and I'm like, okay, these scores sound better. Like 117, 110. That sounds like a fight I fought. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then when they raised my X-rays hand, you know, you saw me. I was stuck. I couldn't believe what I heard, man. I really couldn't believe what I heard. You know, in my mind, no, well, this is the thing, not just in my mind. I felt I won. You know, I threw my hands up, the crowd's with me. My dad's my coach. he typically waits to hear the winner before he really gets to celebrating because he's like, man, I hope they ain't up to something. That's typically how he is. But on that night, he was like, nah, man, you a world champion tonight, man. You go jump on the ropes, man. These folks loving you. You know what I mean? I jump on the ropes. You know, I get an ovation, and then they praise his name, and they start booing like crazy. And I'm like, at least I know I'm not crazy. Like the fight I thought I fought, that's the fight they saw. So I ain't even. So I was. I mean, of course I was upset. I was really upset. I worked really hard that night. Actually, my teammate Greg Outlaw, he's doing the interview right now. They was asking him about the fight. You know, he told me, he said, man, I had one. He said, I got two phones. One of them was watching the fight. He said, I was recording IG on the other fight. He said, man, I threw my phone. I just threw that joint across the room. I said, damn, bro. I mean, I appreciate that, but sorry about your phone. But yeah, we were all upset, man. I mean, the whole world was upset, but the whole boxing community kind of rallied behind me, you know, and you know things, you know. I mean, the good that came of it is my name has more value to it. You know, you can put me on you can put me on an undercard and like, oh yeah, that Fox kid is back. That's what I've been getting a lot of. Finally back, man. It's good to see him back in the ring. I can't wait to see you fight. Things like that, and I can't wait to perform again.
So, what goes through your mind when you know you won the fight? Trainer knows you won the fight. Your whole team, all the fans know you won the fight. But the judges just had it another way. What goes through your mind?
Honestly, at that moment, when I heard them raise the maestre's hand, I was listening to Jimmy Lynn Jr. I was waiting for him to say, "Hold on, I made a mistake." I was hoping he pulled the Steve Harvey, for real. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping that was so. Like I'm like stuck, and I'm just kind of waiting for them to say, "Oh no. Ooh, my bad. Hang on, I'm very sorry. I announced the wrong person." You know, I was in so much disbelief that it was just like I can't really remember what I was going on. I was just stuck. I was frozen in that moment, just like, huh? You know what I mean? Like I said, I felt like I did everything right. My team felt I did everything right, and none of us have an answer as to why the result we thought we were supposed to get, we didn't get.
Wasn't there an issue with one of the judges or something? It was like some scandal or something going on with that?
Well, I mean, yeah, so later on that night, people were going through Twitter and they found one of the judges. Her name is Gloria Martinez Rizzo. She's the wife of, she was the judge. She was like 2020 WBA Judge of the Year, and then she's the wife of a WBA exec and everything. So there was a lot going on with that scandal. But the thing that really popped was like on Twitter was when they saw her. She made like racist comments on Twitter about Michelle Obama, LeBron James, and all that. Like she called Michelle Obama a monkey. You know what I mean? And then that tweet starts circulating. I'm going through Twitter. Followers going up, notifications are through the roof. I'm going through them one by one. Then I land on that jump. I tweeted out, man, I was never gonna win on her card. You know what I mean? And then they retweeted it. It probably got retweeted 100 something times before she before I seen it. She deleted her Twitter and everything. I still have the screenshots on my phone, so when she came, because I knew, they were waiting for the dust to die down, and when she came back on the scene, I knew. I was like, I'm gonna tweet these out again. And she came back on the scene with the Danny Dubois, Trevor Bryan heavyweight fight, and I was like, nah. She doesn't get to go back to the world championship level, and I haven't even fought yet. That doesn't. So and I tweeted it out again. Like this is who y'all employed.
She's
judging. She's judging African American fighters, and we can't say for sure if she's being unbiased or not. There's no way to know. But we seen the type of shit she put on Twitter.
Yep. Like I said, I just watched the fight again, bro. You won that fight, like hands down. That just pisses me off. I'm ready to throw my phone. Like that's how I felt like watching that because you did everything.
Yeah, I was really upset. Yeah, I was really upset. I'm like then his coach got to trying to like mock me or something. He wasn't speaking English. I was kind of mad about that, but I couldn't really, I don't know what he's saying. So I'm like, man, fuck him, fuck you. Excuse my language.
No, you good. No, I seen you looked at him in the ring like, bro, like, man, just go.
Just back up. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm sorry that happened to you, man. It just sometimes in boxing it just happens like that. But I mean, even Lennox Lewis and all the announcers, they were all saying this shouldn't have happened like this. Their
Yeah,
scorecard, they only had him winning two, like maybe one round, and
yeah.
that's it.
Marcos Villegas, the unofficial, he gave him he actually I think he actually judged it a shutout, and then like after the fight, go back to the locker room, I shower and stuff, and then I go to then a lady comes find me. Said, I've been looking for you for like half an hour. I said, "What's up? Like, I got my money. What else? Y'all, what else? What else is there? They stuck me up out here." And she's like, "Nah, Lennox Lewis sent me to come find you. He wants to talk to you." So we go down to, I guess, their green room or whatever. We walking. I go down some steps, turn right, go down some more steps, turn left, turn right, turn left, make the last left. As soon as Lennox Lewis see me, he breaks middle of his conversation. He say, "Bro, you won that fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody tell you otherwise." Like
Mhm.
that was horrible. Now we all got WBA. Now we all got WBA stories we can tell.
So I mean, is there like an appeal process you can go through to fix this?
Yeah, well, we tried. We tried. Shoot. Well, we tried last year. It was still back. Still last year. We had to appeal with the Minnesota State Commission. The decision to overturn it ultimately fell on their commission since it happened in their state.
Mhm.
And I get a letter that says basically, what I'm saying, we don't really see any like evidence of like foul play. Like we don't see no foul play that actually took place. And it's nothing that can be proven. So
Huh?
he said, yeah, the fight stays.
Can
The
be
fight,
proven. Watch
decision
the
stays.
fight.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that wasn't enough. But yeah, that's
That's
what they told me, man. That's what I had to go with.
wow. That's crazy, man. Besides obviously some bad judging and stuff, like what's one of the dirtiest things you've seen in the sport of boxing? And you don't have to say any names.
Um, the foulest thing I've seen in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Other than my thing, shit. Well, no, I mean the foulest thing that I can, that I can remember, like, just off the top of my head is, the Margarito Cotto fight.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the foulest things. That was one of the foulest things. Like the thing about that is like even if like we can't prove that Antonio Margarito did it a bunch of times, but we can't prove that he didn't. It just puts a question mark on all your fights, all your victories, and everything. We don't know how good you actually might have been. But then as soon as you as soon as you take the plaster out your gloves, Miguel Cotto and Manny Pacquiao both put the paws on you.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes you wonder, man. Maybe you were never shot, bro. Maybe you just was hitting people with bricks.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know. I think it was on Fight Hype. Deontay Wilder just did an interview talking about he still thinks Tyson Fury cheated. Like so. I mean, let's be honest. You're a fighter. You've been in this game a long time. Has there been any type of water issues as far as like someone doing something to the water or rumors of certain things like that happening in the sport of boxing?
That's never happened to me.
Just in general, like you or if anybody else you know.
No, what's that guy name? It was back in the day, Panama or something. I forgot his name. You know the dude. He's like, man, give me the water. Nah, give me the one I mixed. The one I mixed.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, who is that dude? I forgot his name. Yeah, but okay, I remember that one. I mean, like the thing about like with Wilder and Fury's thing is just that, man, like you weren't none of it. I wasn't there to be able to say like he did some foul shit. All we know is we got some videos. We got, I mean, his like I know his corner man was in Tyson Fury's corner, so if they slipped something in the glove, they did it really, really, really clever, or his trainer was back there not paying attention. But
Mhm.
like it's hard. It's it. I can't really speak. I can't really speak on what happened because like I'm like I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I can't like all I know is in the first fight, Fury was Fury, I mean, in that fight, with like Fury just was touching him up. He wasn't even trying to really knock him out. But then he goes with Sugar Hill Stewart. Sugar Hill Stewart, up there, they they promote knockouts. You know what I'm saying? So they taught him how to turn his punches over. Like, dude, you almost 300 pounds. You shouldn't be tapping people. And I mean, I think that Sugar Hill Stewart had a big difference in how that fight went too, but not in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? Not in a negative way, because I wouldn't want to discredit Sugar Hill Stewart. Sugar Hill Stewart was a quality coach. You know what I mean? And I think he probably told him, turn your punches over. How you gonna be 300 pounds and you can't put nobody away? You know what I'm saying? And then he started putting people away.
You mentioned Jaron Boots Ennis at the welterweight division earlier. What's your thoughts on him?
It's sharp as attack. And shout out to Bozy Ennis too. They always anytime I go to Philly, they always show a lot of love. So nothing really foul I say about him. But there's nothing foul to say as far as Boots' boxing ability. Like, he can switch hit. He looks like pretty even on both sides. He boxes. Like, the thing about Bozy, as a coach, he promotes boxing first. Like, if you know how to, I've seen him with other fighters like Christian Cardo. Like, these guys all have really sharp boxing ability, and they're able to put guys away. But one thing I can tell that Bozy leads with skills first. You know what I'm saying? Move your head. Land your shots. Move your head. Don't give them nothing back. And then if you can get them out of there, get them out of there. But I don't think that with Bozy, that's the first mission. And as a coach, that's not the first thing in his mind is trying to knock him out. He just knows he has some guys that can throw a good punch. And so he's just gonna nurture that. He's gonna nurture that with boxing skills, and then if you got that gifted punch, you can put him up out of there, but look good doing it. You know what I mean?
I know you said you want to get back in the ring and you want to stay active. A win over Mean Machine, I mean, that puts you right back in there. Now, if you go in there and get him out of there early, we could potentially maybe see you and Jaron Boots Ennis maybe end of the year, January. How does that fight go if you guys get in the ring together?
I mean, the fight goes the way I need it to go. I see myself winning a 12-round decision. It's not gonna be an easy task, but yeah, my bad. Yeah, but I'm gonna be boxing my ass off. I'm boxing my ass off with whoever I get in the ring with. But I know Boots is a skilled boxer, and he throws a good punch. So it's gonna be it would definitely be a chess match, and it's going to be a challenge to both of our skill sets.
What's your thoughts on Virgil Ortiz?
Virgil Ortiz, he's also a dog. Like, he can fight too. The thing about I was just watching. I've been watching him versus Mean Machine a lot, and like, everybody sees him come forward a lot, gets the high guard. But he has some good upper body movement, and he got good like hand defense. Shots come straight, he closed the guard up, catch the shots from the side. He's rocking for power. I think a fight with him would be truthfully, if I was to fight both of them, I think a fight with all no disrespect to him, but I think a fight with Virgil would be easier. He plays, and I think his skill set plays a little more into what I want to do in the ring. But it's not going to be. I think it'd be easier, but not an easy fight. Virgil Ortiz, he's throwing. I think he got bricks in both hands. He applies a lot of pressure, and he can be hard to hit when he wants to. But I tried to fight Virgil Ortiz before, and they said that fight didn't happen. That's all I'll say about that.
Okay, so I mean, you are an Al Haymon fighter, correct?
Well, no, I'm not. I haven't inked anything with Al Haymon.
Okay.
My advisor, Mike Brown, he works closely with Al Haymon. Like, Robert Helenious is a fighter. Mike Brown advises Robert Helenious. So that's that fight. That's so when he fights Wilder, that's his fighter. They're gonna fight. It's a comeback fight. It's a fight that I guess Wilder's team said they wanted, and Helenious definitely didn't object. So that's how that fight goes.
Okay. So I mean, so you have the option of switching, going to fight over on Golden Boy, and maybe on the zone with Matchroom or something? You don't have to just stick with one promotional company.
I mean, yeah, I think yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah, I kind of, I'm not, like I said, I'm not necessarily aligned with PPC. I'm aligned with someone who works, who does a lot of work with PPC. But I mean, I like to be able to go where the opportunity is. You know, I don't want to have to, I don't want to have to sit around. I don't want to sit around and wait for their guys for them to put their guys at the forefront, and you know, then I'm a second thought. I mean, I understand why they got to do that. These are the guys that sign with us. But the thing is, you can put me on the list. I'll fight those guys. You ain't even got to look. So you don't even have to look far. You just got to get them to say yes.
What's your thoughts on Keith Thurman? Because I mean, he's looking for a fight.
If he's looking for a fight, I'll fight Keith Thurman. I have no problem fighting Keith Thurman. Thing about, I mean, Keith Thurman. I'll be honest. Keith Thurman's a great boxer. He's still a great boxer. I mean, I watched this, you know, his come up since like his last fights on HBO to all the way up to him fighting Mario Barrios. I mean, he got good feet under him, but I know he does his best work against flat-footed fighters. I think you know, I think I would definitely present a problem for him, especially, you know, the first 5 rounds he's coming to knock people out, and then after that he kind of uses his legs, gets on his bike a little more, and walks you into hard counter punches. But you know, you can do that really well to flat-footed fighters.
What's your thoughts on Conor benn moving up in weight to take on Chris Eubanks Jr.?
I mean, I think that's a fight that's more so for the fans and for nostalgia. I mean, I think, you know, however the fight goes, Conor benn is not like, you know, if he loses, say Eubank was too big. If he wins, it's like Conor benn's the man. So I mean, there's nothing for him to lose in taking that fight. Chris Eubank, he's there's a lot to lose. Like you're a middleweight that lost to a welterweight. You know what I mean? Your career is just about over, really. He should. I mean, if I were him, if I had the option, I probably would have tried to take on like Demetrius Andre or something like that. You know, try to get a belt. Try to probably. Well, I ain't gonna say for sure he'll get more cash because I don't know, like that fight is already sold out. That's what I found out. That fight's already sold out, whatever venue they're in. But I mean, it's a risky play it's a more risky play for Chris Eubank than Conor benn. I'm actually rooting for in that fight. I'm actually rooting for Conor benn just because, like, why? What is Chris Eubank? Why are you fighting a welterweight? Like, for what? For what? You know what I mean? It doesn't make that much sense on your end.
Yeah, Danny Garcia just moved up to 154. Would you be interested in moving up to 54 and taking on him?
I mean, yeah, there's money involved in that fight, so you know, I think I would get paid. I would make the most I've probably ever made in my career. So I would definitely fight Danny Garcia. You know, he moved to 54. He fought the right guy out there that's not super busy and things like that. So, you know, for me, you know, like I said, I'm 6'4". I have a height advantage over like every weight class other than heavyweight. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm always going to try to make that play to my advantage. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to. He's going to have that the no look hook would have to travel a very long way. But yeah, those are all fights I'm interested in taking. But none of that even matters unless I get past Mean Machine October 8th. So I mean, really, you're asking, I'm answering, but I don't really make plans past the fight date. So you know, we got Mean Machine, and then we can start deciding what we can get next.
Absolutely. This is big debate in boxing now. It's all about, you know, belts, you know, legacy or money. You know, which one do you prefer?
I mean, true. I mean, I honestly, me now would have to say money. I would say prefer money fights. But the thing is, the legacy fights and the money fights and the belt fights, they all kind of run parallel. They run hand to hand. Okay, like Devin Haney and Tank fight. That's good for their legacy. They'll make a lot of money, and there are belts involved, and there's belts. But like I never understood when people say, "Yeah, I fight for legacy," or "I fight for money." Like, you fight for legacy, you fight this guy, you're gonna make a lot of money. You fight for money, you fight this guy, it's also gonna help you build your legacy. You gotta think
Mm-hmm.
that the crowd, people aren't asking for Spence Crawford. They're asking for it because it's gonna be a good fight. Now they did the work, so it's gonna be undisputed, and because there's a lot of fan appeal to it, they're both gonna make a lot of money. But like, the thing is, if whichever one you say you fight for, fighting a big name is going to get you those three things. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Earl and Crawford are going to make a lot of money. Uh, um, if Fury and AJ were to fight even a couple years ago, they would have made. I mean, they probably still get some money, but they would have made a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Wilder and Joshua, they would have made a lot of money. It would have been good for the legacy. This would have been that heavyweight fight they all talked about because of whatever. But you know, it all runs hand in hand. Like, you can't have you're not gonna really have one without the other.
Mm-hmm.
Legacy fights garner a lot of attention. You know, that all that attention turns into revenue, and revenue
Mm-hmm.
turns into bigger paychecks.
And I'm glad you said that, because a guy in your weight class at 147, Blair Cobbs, has pretty much shown everybody and laid it out. You got to do more than just fight. You got to go up there, talk your trash. You know what I'm saying? Connect with the casuals, and there's more
Yeah,
eyes on you. It's gonna mean more money. Would you be interested in a fight with Blair Flair?
at any point, if I'm willing to fight, I think if I'm willing to fight Mean Machine, Vergil Ortiz, or Boots Ennis, you know, I think a fight with Blair Cobbs is a step down again in that level of competition. I mean, Slim can fight. Slim can fight. He can fight. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, all that. I mean, really, he's garnered more attention off of his antics and all that WWE shit he does. But he's not. I mean, if I'm willing to fight those guys, why wouldn't I fight him?
Okay. Social media. YouTubers, TikTokers. What's your thoughts on them jumping in the boxing ring?
I mean, it's just a certain way you go about it. I think, like, y'all got y'all got a lot of time on your hands. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all want to do. That's what y'all want to do. But just make sure you do it respectfully. Like, that's the reason that people don't really particularly care for Jake Paul that much. I mean, the thing about Jake Paul is, if you look at him as a prospect, coming up in the rankings, promoters want to know you can sell tickets and everything, right? You can sell
Mm-hmm.
tickets. Now, it's a no-brainer. Jake Paul can sell tickets. But Jake Paul, he brought a fan base from YouTube and all this other social media thing. He brought those fans to boxing. They're gonna buy tickets just because, oh man, it's Jake Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Now is he legit a boxer? And if you ask me, I say no. He hasn't fought a real boxer yet. Really, I mean, honestly, I tell you what, he about to fight the dude. He about to fight the MMA fighter, former UFC champion. I watched a little bit of MMA, so
Anderson
Anderson
Silva.
Silva. Yeah, he
Yep.
about to fight. He about to fight Anderson Silva, who actually beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. So if you ask me, he's more of a legit boxer than Jake Paul is right now. But I think,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I'll give him his credit. If he would have fought Hakeem Rockman, win or lose, he would have been that. Now you're a boxer. I'll look at you as a boxer. I'll look at you as as one of my peers. But I mean, until he get in the ring with like a boxer. I mean, even fighting Anderson Silva, he'll get some credit for that because I mean, if Anderson Silva can beat Julio Cesar Chavez, that kind of makes him a boxer. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That pretty much kind of makes him a boxer. So beating him gives you a slight bit of legitimacy in boxing. If you beat him, you'll get Jake Paul will get some legitimacy in the sport. Maybe people will respect it a little more, but like, I mean, it brings attention to the sport. He's brought a younger generation of fans and everything. It's crazy to me when they ask a kid who's your favorite fighter, he says Jake Paul, but he's he's watching sometimes. He's watching a little bit of boxing.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, would you ever fight a social media star? Would you ever get in there with one of them?
I mean, if we're around the same size, yeah, because I plan on, if I were to, I would fight him, and then I plan on having a career after that. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't just be out here fighting some dude that's 200 pounds. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if for some reason social media fighter thought it was a good idea to get in the ring with me, I would give them I would give them a proper indoctrination to the sport. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take the fight lightly because I can't risk that embarrassment of losing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get my full attention, and once you get my full attention, you're not going to like it.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that. Two more questions. Canelo versus Triple G in September. What's your thoughts on the trilogy?
It's a fight that's pretty well past its due date, but I got Canelo winning. I think he's still young. He's 30. He's 31 now. I think he'll be 32 by the time that fight comes. Um, Triple G, I mean, he's 40 or he's in his 40s and he's starting to slow down. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
think he's slowing down a little too. He might have slowed down a little too much for a Canelo Alvarez who's still in his prime. And now Canelo Alvarez is coming off of a loss. I think he might feel like he has something to prove. Um, After that, needs to Canelo needs to stay away from Bivol. So I'm thinking Canelo to beat Triple G, but you might not. You might. I just don't think he has for Bivol.
I was just about to ask you, do you think he even gives Bivol the rematch, or you think he just lets Zerto try to, get that revenge for him?
Maybe it was there. Well, the fight with Zerto was already made. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
win or lose. We'll have, I think if Bivol wins, I think he'll try it again. If Bivol loses, maybe I don't think he'll bother.
Okay. But I mean, that's either way, man. It's gonna be some good fights coming up. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, finishing up the year strong. I'm glad to just be back in the mix for real, for real.
Absolutely. Oh, tanking Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. Will that
Tank
fight
wins.
happen?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like people had like my friends that know the casual stuff, that know all the big names. They asked me if that fight's gonna happen. I said, truthfully, I don't know. I really don't. Like boxing's been so split because of TV deals and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. ESPN's with ESPN has Top Rank, Showtime has PBC, Golden Boy has the Zone. So it's always them like that those exclusive contracts to stream these guys fights and show these guys fights. I think that splintered boxing more than it helps. I mean, it probably helps the promoters and everything, but it doesn't help like the boxing fans because that's just another hurdle you have to get over during the negotiation process. But if it does happen, Tank knocks Ryan Garcia out. I mean, I've known Tank. I'm gonna tell you right now. I've known Tank since I was what 8 or 9 years old. So y'all gonna call me biased or that's just your man. But if we really, I'm going with Tank. I think I think he's meaner. B, I think he's shown more. He's shown more skills to me than Ryan. Ryan has some fast hands, and he's got power, but I don't like how he deals with punches that come back at him. Like his defense to me is shaky.
Mm-hmm. One more question, man. I'm gonna let you get up out of here. I know you're tired from the camp, getting ready for mental health as far as a fighter and a boxer. You mentioned Ryan Garcia, got Adrian Broner that just pulled out of a fight recently. You know what I'm saying? We hope they get everything together and come back strong. How much pressure is it being a fighter in the limelight? You know what I'm saying? Having to take care of your family and worry about the other guy across the ring potentially. I mean, could potentially kill you. You know what I'm saying? How much pressure is it on fighters?
Well, as far as the limelight goes, I don't really view myself as being in the limelight, so I can't answer on that point. But I know the pressure of getting ready for a fight, a big fight that can take you to that next level. And one thing about those fights is there's a higher level of danger. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to fight. Because you actually got to fight somebody. So pressure gets on. Your coach is on your ass. If if you behind on bills and stuff, you got to convince your landlord. It's like, look, man, I'm fighting this date. Just give me just Friday this date. I'm gonna pay it all off and things like that. So that those life just brings pressure in itself. And when you're a boxer, this shit doesn't this doesn't just jump off. It doesn't just jump off at whatever level you were. Unless you came out the Olympics, maybe your paychecks are bigger. But early on, you climbing, you building, you working another job. I mean, so as far as like the pressure goes, like it can eat at you if like all it takes is like really one bad day in the gym, bad day at work, your girl on your girl on your nerves, or your like I said, or your landlord, like, look, man, I'm trying to run a business here too. It just depends. It just depends on how you deal with it. Like for me, boxing is an escape. It's a safe place. Even when I'm not in camp, just hitting the bags makes me feel a lot better. You know what I'm saying? If I'm angry about something, a couple hours in the gym, I feel better. Even the days I don't feel like going to the gym, after I leave, I'm glad I went. I'm not glad it's done. I'm actually glad I went. I'm glad I worked out. And anything that was stressing me out, I mean, that's my the way it works for me. The way, but if it's stressing me out, you know what I'm saying? I go to the gym, and for those about 3 hours, I'm good, man. Like I'm in a better mood.
Mm-hmm. Well, let the fans know where they can reach you at, man.
Oh yeah, well, anybody that's talking to, I be real active on Twitter and Instagram at Professor Mike with a Y, at Professor Mike. You know, I post I post during camp and stuff. You know, I talk about the fights on the weekends when Twitter's happening. You know, RIP to the Queen, and because now RIP to the Queen of England. We got to wait a little longer for Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall and Baumgartner and Mayer. So.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, what do you think about those fights? Like, who you got in those?
I was picking Shields, and I was picking Shields and Baumgartner.
Okay. Yeah. I'm looking forward to them fights, man. But man, you know what, Mr.
I heard
Mykal
they pushed it back
Fox?
to the 15th.
Oh yeah, they moved it back to the 15th. Yeah, so the 15th is gonna be crazy. We got Devin Haney, Cambosas, Wilder, like Elena. It's gonna be a crazy date. But we got to worry about the 8th, man. You know what I'm saying? Mean Machine, we're gonna go in there and handle business, baby. That's what we're doing.
That's for certain. That's for certain, man. You know, shout out to you, man. Thanks for having me on once again. But
No problem.
yeah. Like I said, October 8th. That's what my mind is now. I haven't made plans for any day after October 8th. That's what the focus is.
All right, we're gonna see you October 8th, Mr. Mykal Fox. I appreciate you for your time, sir.
Man, I appreciate you. Thanks for having me, man. Hit me up anytime.
Yes, sir. I got you. All right, man.
Oh, man.